Well, hello friends and followers. So you know me well enough by now. When something is upside down and on its back, it's getting worked on. It's like a rabbit that died in the yard or something. No, that's not true. Anyway, this is the HP23 power supply that I've ordered off eBay. And it came in today, and the first thing I did was tear it apart. The first thing I did was take all the capacitors out of the top of it. As you can see, it's holes in there. The capacitors that came in this thing are about this big, and they're 125 microfarads at 450 volts. Our friends, the Chi-Coms, make capacitors now about this big and the same exact specifications. Are these any good? I don't know. Amazon, 10 bucks for like 8 of these. So I decided then to take these large ones out and put the new ones inside. So I did a few more optimizations too. I figured since I had these diodes here, these are what, 1000 volts, about an amp, 1000 volts PIV. I figured I didn't need to have 2 diodes cascaded anymore. I can just use one diode because this is an 800 volt supply. Yeah, I guess I'm running it kind of close to the edge, but I did cascade those. And I put 2 resistors in parallel here and got 50K instead of 100K out of those. So I tried to make this circuit as minimal as possible, and that has been very painful. So that's the B plus circuit for the 800 volts or so, and you can see it's working. There's 800 volts on it, cranking along. So the capacitors are now all underneath this power supply, and I put the lid back on and turned on the switch in case the capacitors explode, which they could do. Anyway, it didn't explode yet, so let's turn it off. You'll see the voltage will bleed down. Once it bleeds down, we'll take off the lid and show you what's going on in there. So it bleeds down pretty quick because these resistors go to ground and we'll bleed it down, which is nice, right? So there's 16, 15, 14, that's not gonna hurt anybody. Let's pull the plug out of the wall socket here, just to be safe. And this plug is from the 60s with fuses built in. It's really old, and not polarized either, so that's a real safety concern anyway. So I'll show you what I've been doing here. This has taken me hours. It's been really painful, tedious work in here. I'm not proud of what I've done in here yet. It works. I'm happy that it works. I'm happy nothing exploded. Believe me, I'm happy about that, but come on. There we are. So the B plus now is contained in this little area here. This is what's making the 800 volts right here. This little tiny area. And I wonder if these got hot or not. There's no voltage in here now. Let's see if they get hot. Yeah, they get hot. They get pretty damn hot. Do these get hot? Not terribly, but these are, I got 50K 5 watts in there. Those are getting hot. All right, balancing resistors. Anyway, so how does this work? So there's 2 wires here. There's a red and a red yellow. So what a mess this is, huh? So I had one terminal strip to work with, and I figured I got to make that work. So I condensed the 2 capacitors in there, and there's the resistors. The little gold things are the 50K Chi-Com resistors, and The two diodes are way down in there. This will be a mess if the diodes short out and have to fix the diodes. It's not even really repairable, and I'm not even proud of it, but you know, you start hacking and you just try and finish it. So that's what I did. I did use heat shrink on everything I could. I'm sure if you got in here and moved things around, you'd cause a short. But anyway, the two wires, the transformer, the yellow, red, and the red. Where's the red? Red wire is buried, but it goes over to here. The red wire here goes out to the high voltage on the out. And you can see we had 800 volts coming out of this thing. So that's my little B plus circuit. It seems to work, 800 volts for the Drake. So now that's done. So this circuit now is done. I ripped out this circuit. This circuit probably worked and I tore it out, which was dumb, but I gotta build this one now for the low voltage B plus 250 volts. This circuit here is still intact. I'm not gonna muck with it. That's for the bias. So that circuit's pretty much over here. I'm gonna replace these capacitors and test the circuit. If it works, leave it alone. So I have this little area over here to build the next circuit, which is this one here. Get that built up. I'm not going to be as condensed as this. I'm going to spread this one out so it doesn't have a condensed footprint. But yeah, I didn't want these above. So the reason why I want this area on top clear is simply this. I might put a large transformer in there. I'm thinking that this transformer, boy, look at that little resistor hanging there. That's not so good, is it? Jeez. Well, when you hack things together, it's what you do. Anyway, this transformer only puts out about 150 mils, I think, at 283 volts or so, and there's a voltage doubler. It probably puts out more than that, but I think this circuit's only good for about 150 milliamperes or 0.15 amps, and that's probably not enough to run the 6146s I have on the TR4 Drake. So I may get another transformer if it'll fit here and mount it here, and maybe not use the B plus off this one. Build a new B plus circuit, and it'll be a full wave rectifier. And the secondary would be 800 volts, and it would be a 1,000 volt line coming up. So I might try that, put 1,000 volts into the 6146s later on and see how they tolerate that. So yeah, now I can at least measure and see if I can get a transformer in there that would fit. I wish I didn't have this thing sticking out. I'm afraid to even push on this, it'll probably cause a short, so I don't even want to touch that. So that's how it goes when you're hacking around. So I guess I'll measure this and see if I could get another transformer in there. I'll leave this one here. This one puts out enough for the filaments, about 5 amps on 12 volts, which is what I want. And this might put out enough B plus, I don't know. I doubt it, but we'll see. Anyway, that's my little project here. It's a real hack, isn't it? It's a hack indeed. I just wonder if I was going to put a bridge rectifier in here. Where am I going to put it? I got to start making room for things. I guess there's some room over here. Yeah, there's a lot of room over there to put a circuit. I could put a bridge right here, I suppose. And I got to build up the low voltage bridge right there. This is for the bias minus 90 to minus 40, minus 40, minus 90. This probably still works. So that's my little experiment. Old HP23 power supply. All right, there's a schematic for it. I still gotta wire up the plug that goes to the radio. I bought a Jones connector, which is here somewhere. And this room is a mess. Anyway, somewhere here there's a Jones connector that I bought. And there's some cabling to cable to this radio. That'll be in a different video. All right, radio sitting over there, all done. I just don't have a power supply to run the radio, so there's a radio. I just don't have any way to run it. I missed out on a Drake power supply that went for like 150 bucks, and I wasn't going to pay 300 bucks to one of these scalpers on eBay, so I just am stubborn. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great day. 800 volts, yahoo. This thing's working.